ॐ ॐ ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ ज्ञानिनामपि चेतांसि देवी भगवती सा बलादाकृष्य मोहाय महामाया प्रयच्छति दुर्गे स्मृता हरसि भीतिम् अशेष जन्तोः स्वस्थैः स्मृता मतिमतीव शुभां ददासि दारिद्र्य दुःख भयहारिणी काद्वदन्यां सर्वोपकारकरणाय सदार्द्रचित्ता सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। सर्वस्वरूपे सर्वेशे सर्वशक्तिसमन्विते भयेभ्यस्त्राहि नो देवी दुर्गे देवी नमोस्तुते। रोगानशेषानपहंसि तुष्टां हृष्टा तु कामान् सकलानभीष्टान् त्वामाश्रितानां न विपन्नराणां त्वामाश्रिता ह्याश्रयतां प्रयान्ति सर्वबाधाप्रशमनं त्रैलोक्यस्याखिलेश्वरी एवमेव त्वया कार्यम् अस्मद्वैरिविनाशनम्। ॐ श्री महासरस्वत्यै नमः। Hari Om. Welcome to day 7 of this Navaratri, which is being celebrated as a day for Kalaratri, the great destroyer of all negativities. Today we will begin with the Saraswati Ashtottara Shata Namavali. Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Ashtottara, 108. 8 above 100 is Ashtottara Shata. Namavali, a string of names, a row of names. We begin with the first name of the goddess herself. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. Saras means a lake. Saraswati means something that flows with beauty, something that is very beautifully flowing, gracefully flowing. Saraswati also means the flow of words, and Saraswati is also the river, the very famous river around which there was a Saraswati civilization. Now the river is said to be underground. Beneath Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati is flowing beneath. And Saraswati Janmasthan is a very beautiful place in Badrinath. There is a small cave and there is a waterfall with beam pool. Beam pool is supposed to be that bridge which Bhima took a big stone and put it across the Saraswati river to help Pandavas to cross when they were walking in the Himalayas. In that place, there is a small cave with a Saraswati temple. That river is supposed to be the Saraswati river, and the place is called Saraswati Janmasthan. It is in Badrinath, closer to Mana, which is on the China border in India. Om Saraswatyai Namaha. The other name, Om Mahabhadrayai Namaha. Om Mahabhadrayai Namaha. The great and auspicious one. Bhadra means something that is very auspicious to see, auspicious to hear, auspicious to taste, smell, and touch. Saraswati is that presence in our life which makes everything auspicious, which gives a touch of auspiciousness to everything. She is that knowledge. She's the goddess of learning. And when we are fed with knowledge, when we are replete with knowledge, then whatever we see through the eyes of knowledge, we see through the lens of knowledge, and whatever situations come, whoever the person may be, or whatever the object, there is always Bhadra, there is always auspiciousness, because the eye of learning gives us that auspiciousness. And she is Mahabhadra. Om Mahamayayai Namaha. Om Mahamayayai Namaha. What is Saraswati? Is Mahabhadra, the great auspiciousness, and which is the same Mahamaya. What is Mahamaya? This whole world is pervaded by the Brahman. This whole universe is pervaded by the Brahman. And what is Brahman? Brahman is the same as I. We say I for referring to our own self. When everybody and everything in this universe is saying that I is Brahman. Ideally, this I is also Brahman only. But we are always limited to our understanding as this body, so we cannot really comprehend the vastness of Brahman, the I that is present everywhere. In that Brahman, there are different objects, situations, and people with names, forms, qualities, and transactions in this world. That is Mahamaya. Mahamaya is nothing other than Brahman. Brahman appearing as names, forms, attributes, and transactions. Like the whole wave is nothing but the ocean, but yet it looks as if it's different from the ocean, but it is never separate from the ocean. It has no existence separate from the ocean. In the same way, Mahamaya has got no existence separate from the Brahman. The names, forms, qualities, and transactions are happening in the Brahman. Like you may see the railway line is starting from one place and ending in another place. You may look, when you look, it looks like as if this railway line is starting from point A and going to point B. But when you look at the whole railway line from the perspective of the sky, there is no point A and point B. Beyond point A and after point B also the same space is existing. So there is no actual movement in space. But only in Maya, only in name and form, we experience movement. That Mahamaya is Saraswati. She is that Pratyaksha Pramana which shows all our length, breadth, height, depth, and qualities. All these are part of language. All these part of learning and understanding, which is Mahamaya. Om Varapradayai Namaha. Om Varapradayai Namaha. This Saraswati gives us all boons that we ask for. Boons are all our desires, especially those desires that are in tune with Dharma. They are manifested very easily in our life. Those desires that are not in tune with Dharma, they may also be manifesting, provided we have the necessary resources to receive that desire, and provided we are very clear. If I want moksha and I have entertained some material desire in this world, chances are this Varaprada will not give me that, because she is interested in giving me the varam of moksha that I desire. She is a Varaprada. Depending on what we really want, where our standing in life, what is our punya, how much good deeds we have done, and what is the collection of papa, the evil deeds, the impressions of bad actions or evil actions in this lifetime and the previous lifetimes put together, Saraswati bestows us with what we wish for. Varapradayai Namaha. Om Shri Pradayai Namaha. Om Shri Pradayai Namaha. Saraswati is also Shri Prada. Prada means Prakarshena Dadati. Shri is wealth, Shri is Lakshmi, Shri is also Brahma Vidya, Brahma Jnana. So she gives everything, especially when we dedicate our life to knowledge. If you want to attract Lakshmi, worship Saraswati and worship the knowledge that Saraswati gives us. Saraswati and Lakshmi have entered into a contract. Saraswati says, this person wants to know, this person is interested in acquiring knowledge. So you go to their house, says Saraswati to her sister Lakshmi. They are both sisters. Shri Pradayai Namaha. She is the one who gives us Shri or wealth. Om Padmanilayayai Namaha. Padmanilayayai. She is also staying in the lotus. This lotus of Saraswati is usually referred to as a white lotus. Vellai Tamarai பூவில் இருப்பாள் வேண்டும் பொழுது வென்று வருவாள் வெள்ளை தாமரை பூவில் இருப்பாள். வெள்ளை தாமரை is white lotus. The one who stays in the white lotus is Padma Nilayayai Namaha. Pad also means knowledge. She takes her abode in knowledge, in knowing. Saraswati resides in our intellect, in our capacity to know, in our eagerness to know. Padmakshai Namaha. She's also got the eyes of Padma, the eyes of knowledge, the eyes of compassion born out of knowledge. That is Saraswati. Padmavaktrayai Namaha. Her Padma is there in her mouth, meaning the lotus of speech is there in the mouth of Saraswati. And when we worship Saraswati, our words become very sweet. Our words become very learned, very wise. We are able to speak fluently, speak with clarity, speak without confusion, and express ourselves very clearly when we have the blessings of Saraswati, who is called Padmavaktraka, one whose face or the mouth itself is like the lotus. Lotus, when we say it is not a physical lotus flower, it means the qualities of the lotus, the beauty, the softness, the clarity, the uniqueness of the flower. The next name, Om Shivanujayai Namaha. Om Shivanujayai Namaha. She is the Anuja of Shiva. Lord Shiva, the auspicious one, the great yogi who has been in the state of meditation and is called Ashutoshi, one who is easily pleased and blesses his devotees, is the elder brother for Saraswati. They belong to the same family, Lakshmi, Saraswati and Shiva. Durga and Vishnu too. Shiva's wife Durga is the sister of Vishnu, and Shiva's sister Lakshmi is got married to Narayana, and another sister Saraswati has got married to Brahma. Shivanujayai Namaha. Om Pustakabhrute Namaha. Om Pustakabhrute Namaha. So always we sing about Saraswati as having a book in her hands. Veena Pani Pustakadharini. She has a veena in her hands and she holds a book in her hands. Pustakabhrute Namaha, meaning the book, the knowledge is a tool for self-realization. That is what having something in our hand means. She is showing us that we should take refuge in reading the Shastras, the scriptures, the Upanishads to know our way through life. Om Jnana Mudrayai Namaha. Om Jnana Mudrayai Namaha. She holds a Jnana Mudra. Jnana Mudra is a thumb touching the tip of the index finger when the other three fingers are away from the thumb and the index finger. The thumb represents fire and the index finger represents the ego, the individual ego. When the individual ego is joined together with the fire of life or fire of consciousness, the other three qualities, ahamkara, anger, and delusion, all three stay away. This is the symbolism of Jnana Mudra. Even keeping this mudra makes a connection in our brain where we are able to see clearly and we are able to understand our path and way very clearly. Jnana Mudraye Namaha. Saraswati shows the mudra of Jnana. Take refuge in Jnana, she says. Om Ramayai Namaha. Om Ramayai Namaha. She is the one who delights everybody. Knowledge is very delightful indeed. How beautiful it is to see the face of a person who is very well learned. It is shining with glory. So Saraswati is Rama. Rama is one name of Lakshmi also, but it represents beauty, glory, shining. Om Parayai Namaha. Om Parayai Namaha. She's Para. She's the Supreme One. Supreme One means knowledge is supreme. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, Jnanagni Dagdha Karmanam Tamahuh Panditam Budhaha. Sorry. Jnanagni Sarvam Jnana Plavenaiva Vrijinam Santarishyasi. Sarvam Jnana Plavena Eva Vrijinam. We cross all our papas, we cross all our sins, the ocean of sin, we cross with the boat of Jnana. Jnanagni Sarva Karmani. All the karmas, all our repetitive thought patterns, repetitive desires to do work, everything is burnt by the fire of knowledge. And that fire of knowledge, Para, is Saraswati. That supreme knowledge of the Brahman. That is that knowledge which destroys all actions and makes us Nishkriya. Nishkriya means silent, meditative, quiet, alert, vigilant, and ever ready to do when it is required of us to do action. Parayai Namaha. Om Kamarupayai Namaha. Om Kamarupayai Namaha. Saraswati is Kamarupa. She can take the form that we desire. Out of love, when we call her, when we wish her presence, she appears to us in the form that we really love. Where there is love, there is knowledge. Where there is knowledge, there is Saraswati in the form of Kamarupini, Kamarupa. Om Mahavidyayai Namaha. Om Mahavidyayai Namaha. She is Mahavidya. She is a great Vidya. What is a great Vidya? Knowledge that I, the Atma, is the same as the Brahman, the supreme truth, is Mahavidya. And that Mahavidya is none other than Saraswati. She is the one who points us to that knowledge. With her words, with the Shastras, with the Upanishads, she shows us the truth. Om Mahapatakanashinyai Namaha. Om Mahapatakanashinyai Namaha. She is Mahapatakanashini. She destroys our great sins. What is the greatest sin in life? Lack of knowledge of the true self. When every means of knowing that is abundantly available, the greatest sin is not taking to the path of knowledge. Not knowing who I am is the greatest sin. And Saraswati, as Vidya, as knowledge, she destroys that Mahapataka. Mahapataka is the great sin, the great ignorance of not knowing who I am. She destroys that. Mahashrayayai namaha. Mahashrayayai namaha. She is a great refuge for all people in search of truth. When we are in search of truth, when we want to search the reality, when we seek the reality, we have to go through many obstacles in life where things are not very certain. And when things are not certain, we take ashraya, we take refuge in other things which are equally not certain, thinking that they will provide us security, they will provide us comfort, they will come with us all our life. It is like falling from the stairs and holding on to a ball that is falling from the stairs along with us. So both will fall together very fast. Instead of that, Mahashraya is to hold on to the banister on the side, which and leave everything else that's falling along with us. Hold on to the banister. In the same way, Saraswati is the Mahashraya, the great refuge, which we can hold on to, which will prevent us from falling back again into this world of change, birth, and death. Malinyai namaha. Malinyai namaha. She wears the garland of flowers, white lotuses, and all kinds of garlands of fragrant flowers Saraswati wears because she is the goddess of the forest. She is the goddess of the universities. She is the goddess of the schools. And she is the goddess of the homes of the learned people or people devoted to education. Malinyai namaha. Om Mahabhogayai namaha. Om Mahabhogayai namaha. She is the great experiencer. We think that we receive the experiences. It is actually Goddess Saraswati in the form of Prana Shakti in our being, in our thoughts, in our mind, in our intellect, and even in our body. She is the one who receives all the experiences of pain and pleasure in our life. So that way, by experiencing for us, she clears all our karmas. She clears all our vasanas, get expunged because Saraswati is a great experiencer of all the results of our actions residing in us, with us at all times. Mahabhujayai namaha. Om Mahabhujayai namaha. She has got very mighty shoulders. Saraswati is not just the goddess of education. Saraswati is not very soft. She is a great warrior. She has fought with many asuras in battle along with Devi and won in the battle. And as Brahmani, with just the water from her kamandalu, the mantra jala from her kamandalu, she just sprinkles that all around, and with that the asuras are gone. So she is Mahabhujayai namaha. The broad-shouldered one is Saraswati, the strong-shouldered one. She is the shoulder to which we can go when we have great difficulties. If we go to human shoulders to cry, we will only be dumping our sorrow onto another person, and the other person will not know what to do with it, how to deal with it, because he or she has their own bundle of sorrows to handle with, which they don't know what to do. But we take all our worries, our sorrows to Saraswati. She is the Mahabhuja. She has got great shoulders. and she can take in all our difficulties, purify them, and give us a pure mind back to us. Om Mahabhagayai Namaha. She occupies a great place in this universe. Bhaga means the share. Saraswati's share in this universe is almost limitless. As much as far and wide is Brahman, as much far and wide is this Saraswati, this knowledge, which is the closest to the Brahman, which shines with the light of Brahman. She is a Mahabhaga. She is one who has a great role to play in everything in this universe, from creation, preservation, destruction. Everything happens only with the knowledge of Saraswati. Om Mahotsahayai Namaha. Om Mahotsahayai Namaha. She is the Maha Utsaha. Utsaha means the enthusiasm, the dynamic force which gets us to be up and doing, wanting to do something, desiring to do good actions, choosing to do good actions, the energy and the enthusiasm that is required to do good actions. That energy and enthusiasm is none other than Sri Maha Saraswati. Om Divyangayai Namaha. Om Divyangayai Namaha. She is Divya Anga. All the parts of her body are made of divine consciousness. There is nothing other than consciousness in Saraswati. Whichever part of the body, it may be the head, it may be the hands, it may be the feet, or it may be the whole body, whichever part of it is none other than consciousness. She is that light of consciousness that shines on all our thoughts, all our feelings, and all our emotions. Om Suravanditayai Namaha. Om Suravanditayai Namaha. The Devas are people who have great power, who have achieved great power and great heights by dint of their actions in this world. And they're all living in the heavens. And these Devas, they always worship Saraswati. Sura Vanditaye Namaha. She is worshipped by the Devas, the Suras. Sushtu Rati iti Suraha. Very well shining. These Devas, they worship Saraswati, the shining ones. Om Mahakalyai Namaha. She is also Mahakali. Mahakali means the great time. The great time that ends everything. The great time that begins everything. The great time that runs everything in this universe. Mahakali. Mahakalyai Namaha. Om Mahapashayai Namaha. Om Mahapashayai Namaha. She is the great rope that binds. That rope of Sattva Guna that binds us and keeps us in place so that we exhaust our vasanas filled with rajas and tamas. She is that Mahapasha of Sattva Guna. Sattvic, being very kind, being very quiet, being very studious, doing our japa, sadhana, meditation, swadhyaya, Ishvara pranidhana, surrendering to God, studying the scriptures, knowing about myself. These are all the sadhanas. She binds us in this place so that we may do sadhanas and remove the kleshas from our heart, the impurities of mind, and the rajas or the restlessness of mind and the inertia of mind. Mahotsahayai Divyang Mahapashayai Namaha. Om Mahakarayai Namaha. Om Mahakarayai Namaha. She is the great doer of everything. Knowledge is what that does everything. Even if we want a great project to happen, we should have a complete knowledge of the plan and we can visualize it in our mind and have a clear sankalpa that the project is happening and completing through very well and executed well. So Mahakarayai Namaha, Saraswati is the definite thought, the definite sankalpa in our mind, which makes everything happen in this world. Whatever we want to happen, it happens because either it happens by itself, by the grace of the Lord, by the grace of Ishvara, it happens and we receive it. If we are making it happen, then what we can do is have a clear sankalpa about what we want to do. When the sankalpa is clear, Saraswati is there working through that sankalpa. She is that power, she is that Shakti that works through that sankalpa and manifests that sankalpa. Sankalpa means samyak kalpa, right imagination, good imagination. Good imagination means visualizing all this vision boards, preparing a visualizing chart, sitting and visualizing is all working on the Mahakarayai Shakti of Saraswati, the energy, the power of Saraswati that can make things happen in the world. Om Mahankushayai Namaha. Om Mahankushayai Namaha. Saraswati is that great Ankusha. Ankusha is that small stick-like thing which is wielded by the Mahut riding on an elephant. The elephant is so big and the Mahut is so small when compared to the elephant. And the Mahut controls the elephant with that very small stick, which is called Ankusha. In the same way, Saraswati, in the form of knowledge, a very small stick, a very small piece of knowledge, can control all our senses, has that power to control our senses and drive this great elephant-like mind around this world wherever we need to go. It's a Mahankusha, great Ankusha, or the great stick which controls the mighty elephant called the mind. Mahankushayai Namaha. Om Pitayai Namaha. Om Pitayai Namaha. Saraswati is the yellow color. Pita. Pita is also the color which Shri Krishna wears. Yellow is the color of brilliance. Yellow is the color of radiance. Yellow is the color of the conscious mind, which is expressing. Yellow is the color of the light that comes from the sun, absorbed by the earth and radiated back. That is the color yellow when we see it in the afternoon sky, in the morning and the afternoon sky. We see yellow light. It is not the light directly from the sun. It is the light of the sun absorbed by the earth and radiated back into the atmosphere. That is yellow. Yellow is also the color of learning, and yellow is also the color of Dakshinamurti. So she is Pitayai Namaha. She is that yellow color which is bright, cheerful, shining, and ever ready to learn. Om Vimalayai Namaha. Om Vimalayai Namaha. Saraswati is Vimala. Vimala means Vigata Mala. Mala is so many malas we have. Avidya, ignorance, Asmita, the little knowledge of I am this body, I am this mind, Asmita. Raga, attachment to what we like. Dvesha, detachment and withdrawal from what we don't like. Abhinivesha is fear of losing something, fear of dying, fear of moving from one place to another, fear of transfer, fear of change is Abhinivesha. These are all the impurities. Saraswati, or that light of knowledge, is free of all these impurities. Vimalayai Namaha. Om Vishwayai Namaha. Vishwa is this physical body which is created out of the five elements and it contains the mind, intellect, and the inner equipment of ahankara, buddhi, manas, and chitta, and the causal body it contains. This Vishwa is the consciousness that is identified with the physical body. That is Saraswati. Vishwa is also this universe. Vividham Shwayate iti Vishwaha. Whatever is moving and changing at all times is Vishwa. And that is Saraswati. All the modifications of names and forms that we see around us is none other than Saraswati. Om Vidyunmalayai Namaha. Om Vidyunmalayai Namaha. She is that chain of Vidyut. Vidyut is lightning. In the dark skies, there is a ray, there is a flash of lightning which shows the tremendous power of light behind the clouds. And that Vidyut Mala is Saraswati. She manifests as lightning to show us the brightness actually that is embedded in this universe. We get to see it at some times only, especially at night times. She is the Vidyut Mala. She is the one who shows the brightness, the flash of lightning that lights up the night sky is Saraswati. Om Vaishnavyai Namaha. Vaishnavi is also the goddess who fought against the Asuras with the power of Vishnu. Vaishnavi also means the one who is spread everywhere, far and wide, all over the universe. There is no place where she is not. Vaishnavi is the Shakti. Vyapakatvat iti Vishnu. From Vishnu only the Vaishnava word has come. Belonging to Vishnu or belonging to the Vyapakatvam, the presence everywhere, at all places, at all times, in all spaces, in every nook and corner, this consciousness is present. And that is why Saraswati is called Vaishnavi. Om Chandrikayai Namaha. Om Chandrikayai Namaha. Chandrika, she is belonging to the moon, the beauty of the moon, the rays of the moon, the whiteness of the moon, everything represents Saraswati. Om Chandravadanaye Namaha. Om Chandravadanaye Namaha. Chandravadana, the beauty, the face of the moon is Saraswati's face. We saw this name with Lakshmi also, and as sisters, they're all alike. They share many names also together because they share many qualities together. Chandra Vadanayi Namaha, the one who has the face of the moon. Om Chandra Lekha Vibhushitaye Namaha. Om Chandra Lekha Vibhushitaye Namaha. Her ornament is Chandra Lekha, the ray of the moon, the ray of light coming from the moon, the Chandra Kirana, the Chandra Lekha is Vibhushita, one ray of light from the moon, like one ray of light from the moon is an ornament for that entire thought. Moon is your mind. The ray of light from the moon is a light of consciousness, which is an ornament on the thought in the intellect. Chandra Lekha Vibhushitaye Namaha. She is decorated with the rays of the moon. Really, how beautiful it will be to imagine a goddess who is just decorated with the rays of the moon, taking the rays of the moon, imaginary, twisting them, and putting it as her hair, the whole beautiful form of Saraswati with the rays of the moon. How beautiful it would be to see. So that is her beauty. The remaining 36 out of 72 words we will see tomorrow. And on day after, we will complete with these namas of Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati. Om Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu Sarvesham शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसोर्मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ बोले श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हर नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव हरि ओम।